Alright, what's going on everybody? Me and Ted were just talking about cool video ideas, and we decided that we would share how we first got into filming. This is pretty much every camera that I've ever had, and I'm just going to walk you through how I got started, my history, just my progression as a video creator. So this is the first camera that I ever got. It's a Canon EOS Rebel T5, and it's just got like the kit lenses with it. I borrowed this camera from a buddy, and I ended up using it a lot, and he never ended up asking for it back, so it's still with me. I suppose I could still give it back to him if he wants it.
Stole that one.
Yeah, I mean, I would give it back to him if he wants it, but it's still in my possession. This was the first camera I got. The initial way that I got into videography was through photography, and so I started as a photographer first, and I would just go around town to some local ponds and stuff that had geese and ducks and just take pictures of the waterfowl there. From that time, we transitioned into hunting season, and I started taking pictures of the hunts and eventually worked my way into getting into videography. I just set it up on a tripod somewhere and where it's capturing a wide angle view and basically just record the whole hunt. I started out using iMovie to edit everything, and I would just make like beginner level videos and stuff like that. So after I started realizing that I need to probably upgrade my setup, or I need to maybe give my friend his camera back, which I never did, I bought this Canon 70D, and this was like the first one, like my baby. This is when I started making content, photography and videography that I really liked. This one, I believe it shoots 4K, but it doesn't have slow-mo. It shoots up to 60 feet per second. So you can slow it down a little bit, but not like 120 or 240, which a lot of cameras are shooting now. I got this camera, and I remember the first duck season that I had it for, I was making a whole bunch of videos, just like short little 1 or 2 minute videos. I put some music to the back of it. I take a lot of B-roll like before the hunt, after the hunt, and then set it up on a tripod, capture everything, and I would make videos that way. Some of those videos I would still consider to be some of my better videos that I've made. I don't really make that kind of style of video anymore, but those are really fun to make when you're first getting into it. It can be really rewarding, but also not super difficult, super challenging video to make. So unfortunately, during that same duck season, got out there and it started pouring down rain on us. And so I put this camera in my backpack, which I hadn't known had filled up with water because of the rain. And by the time I got back to the truck, it was too far gone. So this camera's out of commission. I still have it, but it doesn't work. After that, I went back to using my old one for a little while until I saved up and bought the 90D, which is basically the same camera, just 2 generations newer in the model. And this one will shoot 120 FPS, it will shoot slow-mo and 4K, and it's a really good overall camera for having that high resolution, crisper type of images and videography. But the lens I have for it, or on it right now, is a Sigma lens, 17 to 50 millimeter. I love it. I pretty much never take this lens off. I pretty much use this lens all the time for what I'm doing. It's like my vlogging lens. Essentially, this is usually what I'm using when I'm vlogging. The lens that I take all my pictures with. So the pictures come out real nice and clear and crisp, and I love the way it looks. And it's also versatile enough to where it can zoom in a little bit if you need it to. So I really like this lens, really love this camera. And until I bought this camera, I had like 7 or 8 little, like 8 gigabyte or 16 gigabyte cards. But not until I got this camera did I upgrade and get this one's a 64, and then the one in this camera is a 128. But I would highly recommend, if you're doing video, to get a bigger card. It's worth it. It's not worth having 8 smaller cards that is just more that you have to keep up with and could potentially lose. I would definitely recommend getting a larger size card. So, and then right before my turkey tour, I bought my first camcorder. It's a Canon G50, shoots 4K up to 30 FPS. So this is just something, since I was doing the turkey tour by myself, and I just wanted something that I could put on a tripod, point and shoot, zoom, get tight shots if I need to, that I could just do with one hand. And that's exactly what this accomplished for me. I loved it. It's just a lot easier for me self-filming my hunt to use a camcorder. And I would definitely recommend, if you're self-filming, to get a camcorder. And if you want that higher resolution B-roll type of stuff, then that's what you will use this for. If you're just trying to get your main subject in the shot, then this is what you want. Highly recommend it. This is essentially my evolution as a filmmaker, if you like that title.
If you will.
If you will, filmmaker, if you will, rather. But that's about all I have.
That's all you got?
Yep.
All right. Send her out.
Thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments.